Captain Jack Miller stood at the viewport, staring at his new assignment. The ship looked like it belonged in a museum, not active service. The HSS Perseverance was small compared to modern Alliance vessels, its hull patched in dozens of places. The once proud name was barely visible under layers of space dust and corrosion. "They call it the Pebble," said Admiral Banks, not bothering to hide his smirk. "Fitting for a captain who thinks rules are just suggestions." Jack said nothing. 6 months ago, he had disobeyed direct orders to abandon a civilian colony under attack. His actions saved 2,000 lives, but cost the Alliance an expensive warship. The military court had two options: kick him out or demote him to the worst assignment possible. The Perseverance was that punishment. "Your crew arrives tomorrow," Banks continued. "They're as problematic as you. Consider this your last chance, Miller. Serve quietly, follow orders, and maybe in 10 years we'll talk about a transfer." After Banks left, Jack walked the empty corridors of his new command. The air smelled stale. Lights flickered. When he reached the bridge, half the control panels were dark. "This is worse than the reports said," he muttered. "You can say that again," came a voice from behind him. Jack turned to see a tall woman with short red hair carrying a toolkit. She wore an engineer's uniform with the name Reynolds on it. "Sam Reynolds, chief engineer, or I guess I am now." She didn't offer to shake hands. "I came early to see what I'm working with. It's not good." "You weren't supposed to arrive until tomorrow," Jack said. Sam shrugged. "I don't follow schedules well. That's why I'm here." "What did you do to deserve this assignment?" "Punched my commander when he ordered me to certify a ship safe that would have killed everyone on board." She looked around the bridge. "At least this one's only mostly dead." By morning, the rest of the crew had arrived. Kate Wilson, tactical officer, who had publicly questioned a popular admiral's battle strategy. Dr. Thomas Reed, who had tested experimental treatments without approval. And Alex Green, communications specialist, caught hacking Alliance databases just to see if I could. 5 people to run a ship normally crewed by 20. 5 careers the Alliance wanted to forget. "Welcome to the Pebble," Jack told them as they gathered on the bridge. "This ship and this assignment are meant to be our punishment. We patrol the emptiest sector of human space until we retire or quit." "Great pep talk, Captain," Kate said, examining her console with distaste. "I'm not finished," Jack replied. "The Alliance thinks we're done. They're wrong. This ship may be old, but it's still an Alliance vessel, and we're still Alliance officers. I plan to run this ship properly." "With what?" Sam asked. "Half the systems don't work, and we have no budget for repairs." Jack smiled for the first time. "Then we get creative." Over the next week, they assessed the Perseverance's condition. The results were worse than expected. Life support functioned at 60% capacity. Weapon systems were 3 generations out of date. The hull had integrity issues in multiple sections. On day 8, Jack found Sam in the engine room, surrounded by holographic displays. "Found something interesting," she said without looking up. "This ship's core architecture is unusual." "Unusual how?" "Modern Alliance ships use standardized components. Makes repairs easier but limits modifications." She pointed to a complex diagram. "The Perseverance is different. It was built when each ship was unique. Its systems are adaptable in ways newer ships aren't." Jack studied the display. "Can we use that?" "Maybe." Sam's eyes lit up with the first enthusiasm he'd seen from her. "With some creative engineering, we could modify this old girl to do things the designers never imagined." Later that day, Jack called the crew to the mess hall. It was the only room large enough for all 5 of them to sit comfortably. "We have 2 choices," he told them. "Accept our fate and patrol empty space in a dying ship, or do something about it." "We have no resources," Dr. Reed pointed out, "and requisition requests require approval from Admiral Banks." "Who will deny them?" Kate added. "Exactly," Jack agreed. "So we work with what we have." Alex looked thoughtful. I may know some people on supply stations who owe me favors. Nothing major, but enough to get some basic parts. I found medical nanites in storage, Dr. Reed said reluctantly. They're outdated for medical use, but with reprogramming, they could repair hull damage. Sam finished, suddenly interested. That's actually brilliant. Kate tapped the table. There's a salvage field in Sector 7. Abandoned after the border shifted. Alliance considers it worthless, but there might be useful components. Jack looked at each of them. These officers had broken rules because they put people above protocol. The Alliance saw that as a weakness. He saw it as their strength. From now on, we operate differently, he said. We follow the spirit of Alliance regulations, not the letter. Our mission is to make the Perseverance functional again. Why bother? Kate asked. Even if we succeed, we're still stuck on patrol duty in empty space. For now, Jack agreed. But things change. Borders shift. Threats emerge. I want us ready when they do. The crew exchanged glances. They'd all seen enough to know he was right. This stays between us, Jack continued. Official reports will show routine maintenance only. Questions? There were none. The next day, they began. Sam created a plan to modify the propulsion system using parts from the ship's rarely used shuttle. Kate examined the weapons, looking for ways to increase power without modern components. Alex started writing custom software to make the outdated systems work more efficiently. 2 weeks later, they encountered their first real opportunity. The Perseverance detected debris from an old mining operation. After confirming it was abandoned, they salvaged usable materials. Among the debris, Sam found something unexpected. A power coupling unlike standard Alliance design. It's not Alliance, but it's not alien either, she told Jack, turning the device over in her hands. Looks like a prototype that never entered production. More efficient than what we have. Can you make it work with our systems? Sam grinned. That's the beauty of this old ship, Captain. With the Perseverance's adaptable architecture, I can make almost anything work. That night, with the strange power coupling installed, the lights on the bridge glowed steadier than they had in years. It was a small victory. But Jack saw something he hadn't seen when they first came aboard. Hope. The Perseverance was still the weakest ship in the fleet, but not for long. 3 months passed since the crew of the Perseverance began their secret project. The ship still looked shabby from the outside, but inside, things were changing. Sam worked 18-hour days in the engine room. The strange power coupling they had found was just the beginning. She discovered that it could connect to other systems in ways that shouldn't be possible. It's like it learns, she told Jack one night as they shared a meal in the mess hall. I connect it to something new, and it adjusts itself. Is it safe? Jack asked. Sam shrugged. As safe as flying this old bucket through space. Kate had found ways to improve the weapons by linking targeting systems to the ship's old exploration sensors. These sensors were built to detect tiny mineral changes in asteroids, she explained. With some adjustments, they can spot weaknesses in enemy ships better than standard military scanners. Dr. Reed, who had been the most reluctant, now spent hours reprogramming medical nanites. They were designed to repair human tissue, he said, showing Jack a sealed container where tiny robots swarmed over a piece of damaged hull material. But cells are cells. I've taught them to repair the ship instead. Alex created an artificial intelligence system that could run the Perseverance with their small crew. It wasn't as advanced as the AIs on modern Alliance ships, but it was uniquely suited to their modified vessel. The Perseverance was becoming something new, not state-of-the-art, but different, better in unexpected ways. Then came the distress call. Alex picked it up during night shift. A small merchant ship, the Lucky Star, under attack by pirates in a nearby system. We should call for help, Dr. Reed said when Jack gathered the crew. We're not a combat vessel. The closest Alliance patrol is 4 hours away, Kate pointed out. The Lucky Star doesn't have that long. Jack made his decision. Set course to intercept. Battle stations. They arrived to find the Lucky Star crippled, 4 pirate ships surrounding it. The pirates were so surprised to see an Alliance vessel that Jack had time to position between them and their prey. "This is Captain Miller of the Alliance ship Perseverance," Alex broadcast. "Stand down and withdraw." The pirates responded by opening fire. "Shields holding at 85%, Kate reported, sounding surprised. "Those mining deflectors Sam installed work better than expected." "Return fire," Jack ordered. Kate targeted the lead pirate ship. The weapons hit with surprising accuracy, disabling its engines with a single shot. "How did you do that?" Jack asked. Kate looked at her console in amazement. The targeting system identified a structural weakness. It shouldn't be that precise. The remaining pirates, seeing their leader crippled by what appeared to be a weakling patrol ship, quickly retreated. After helping the Lucky Star with emergency repairs, its captain, a weathered woman named Morgan, came aboard the Perseverance. "This isn't a standard Alliance vessel," she said, looking around the bridge with knowing eyes. "You've made improvements." Jack tensed. If word got back to Alliance Command about their modifications, they would all face court-martial. Morgan raised her hand. "Don't worry. I'm not interested in reporting you. In fact, I'm impressed." She placed a small data chip on the console. "I trade in rare items. This contains coordinates to an asteroid field where my sensors detected unusual energy readings. I lack the equipment to investigate properly, but you..." She looked around the bridge again. "Your ship might manage it." "Why would we help you?" Sam asked. "Because what I found might be exactly what you need for your project," Morgan replied. "And because I owe you for saving my ship and crew." After Morgan left, the crew debated what to do. "It could be a trap," Kate said. "Or a chance to find something valuable," Sam countered. "We're supposed to be on patrol in this sector anyway," Jack decided. "Let's check it out." The asteroid field was dense, hard to navigate, but the Perseverance, with its modified sensors and improved engines, moved through it with surprising grace. "I'm detecting the energy source," Alex announced. "It's coming from inside that large asteroid ahead." They found an opening large enough for the ship and entered a hollow space within the asteroid. Inside was what looked like an abandoned outpost, but not one made by human hands. "Alien?" Dr. Reed asked, examining the scans. "Yes, but not one we've encountered before," Alex said. "And old. Very old." Jack led a team to explore. The outpost was dead, no life support, but still structurally intact. They wore suits as they moved through alien corridors, their lights illuminating strange symbols on the walls. In what seemed to be the central chamber, they found what Morgan had detected, a device about the size of a small car, pulsing with soft blue light. "It's still active after who knows how many years," Sam said, her voice filled with wonder as she scanned it. "Some kind of power source, but like nothing I've ever seen." "Can we use it?" Jack asked. Sam looked at her readings. "Maybe. It's powerful but stable. If we could integrate it with our systems." "The Alliance would never approve," Dr. Reed warned. "The Alliance isn't here," Jack reminded him. "And they gave us this assignment expecting us to fade away. I say we take this chance." It took 3 days to remove the alien power core and another week to figure out how to connect it to the Perseverance's systems. Sam worked non-stop, stopping only when Dr. Reed forced her to rest. "The core wants to connect to our systems," she explained to Jack. "It's like it was designed to adapt to different technologies." On the 10th day, they were ready. The crew gathered on the bridge as Sam prepared to activate the connection. "If this works," she said, "our power output will increase by at least 300%. If it doesn't work," she shrugged, "we might all die." "Do it," Jack ordered. Sam pressed the activation sequence. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the ship shuddered. Lights flickered. Strange energy patterns ran across every screen. "What's happening?" Jack demanded. The core is interfacing with all systems simultaneously, Alex reported, fingers flying over the controls. It's incredible. Outside the viewport, they watched as the ship's hull began to change. The metal darkened, spreading outward from the engine room where the core was installed, until the entire ship was covered in a material that seemed to absorb light. It wasn't just black. It was an absence of color, as if that part of space had been erased. "Systems stabilizing," Kate announced as the shuttering stopped. "Power levels at 450% of previous capacity. Weapons, shields, sensors. Everything is enhanced. The hull has been transformed at the molecular level," Dr. Reed added, checking his medical scanners. "It's stronger than any material I've ever seen." Jack stared at the readings, then at the viewport showing their ship's new appearance. The Perseverance was no longer the weakest ship in the fleet. It had become something else entirely. "What have we created?" he wondered aloud. They were about to find out. 2 weeks after installing the alien power core, the crew was still discovering what their ship could do. The blackened hull absorbed sensor scans, making the Perseverance nearly invisible to standard detection systems. The weapons hit harder, the shields were stronger, and the engines pushed the old ship to speeds it was never designed to reach. "It's like the ship is evolving," Sam told Jack as they reviewed the latest test results. "Every system keeps improving, even when we don't touch them." "Is that normal?" Jack asked. Sam laughed. "Nothing about this is normal, Captain. We've connected our systems to alien technology we barely understand." Jack nodded. They all knew the risks they had taken, any negative effects. "Nothing dangerous," Sam replied. "But there's something else." She hesitated. "Sometimes the ship seems to respond before we give commands, like it knows what we want to do." Before Jack could respond, the bridge door slid open, and Kate rushed in. "Captain, you need to see this." On the main screen, Kate displayed long-range sensor readings. "I detected an unusual energy spike near the edge of our patrol zone. When I focused our sensors on it, I found this." The screen showed what looked like a tear in space, glowing with strange energy patterns. As they watched, objects began emerging from it. "Ships?" Jack asked. "At least 20 so far," Kate confirmed. "Large ones, and they match no known design in our database." "Are we in visual range?" Kate shook her head. "No, but our enhanced sensors can create a rendering." The screen changed to show sleek vessels with sharp angular designs. They were dark gray with glowing red lines running along their hulls, like blood vessels. "They're heading for Alliance space," Kate said. "And they're moving fast." Jack hit the ship-wide comm. "All hands to the bridge, emergency stations." Within minutes, the entire crew had assembled. Jack explained the situation. "We need to warn Alliance Command," Dr. Reed said. "Agreed," Jack replied. "Alex, send a priority message. Include all sensor data." Alex worked at the communications console, then frowned. "I can't get through. Something's blocking our signal." "The unknown ships." "Possibly. Or the anomaly they came through." Jack considered their options. "We'll move closer to Alliance space and try again. In the meantime, maintain observation of those ships." They watched as more vessels emerged from the tear in space. Large ships, small ships, what looked like troop carriers and weapon platforms. A fleet preparing for war. "They're attacking something," Kate suddenly announced. "The monitoring station at Outpost 47. Jack ordered maximum magnification. The screen showed the small Alliance outpost, little more than a sensor array and emergency shelter for passing ships. 5 of the unknown vessels surrounded it. There was a flash of red light, and the outpost disappeared. "No warning," Alex whispered. "No demands. They just destroyed it." "There were 3 people stationed there," Jack said quietly. They watched in silence as the alien fleet reorganized and continued its advance toward Alliance space. "They're jamming all standard communication frequencies," Alex reported. I can't get any message out. Then we need to get closer to Alliance territory, Jack decided. Plot a course that keeps us away from the main alien fleet. As they changed course, Kate detected a smaller ship breaking off from the alien fleet. It's heading our way. Fast. Have they spotted us? Jack asked. Unknown, but they're on an intercept course. Evasive maneuvers, Jack ordered. Let's see if our stealth capabilities work. The Perseverance turned away, its blackened hull absorbing light and scanner waves, making it nearly invisible against the backdrop of space. For a moment, it seemed the alien vessel would pass them by. Then it suddenly changed course, heading straight for them. They've seen us, Kate reported. Incoming weapons fire. Shields up, Jack ordered. The alien weapon hit them. A beam of red energy that would have cut through a normal Alliance patrol ship. But the Perseverance's shields, enhanced by the alien core, held. Shields at 90%, Kate reported, sounding surprised. That shot should have disabled us. Return fire, Jack ordered. Let's see what our weapons can do. Kate targeted the alien vessel and fired. The Perseverance's modified weapons struck with precision, hitting what appeared to be the alien ship's engine. The effect was immediate and dramatic. The alien vessel spun out of control, its propulsion system disabled. Direct hit, Kate announced. Their engines are down. Jack saw an opportunity. Can we capture that ship? We need information about what we're facing. Sam studied her console. We might be able to use the medical nanites to cut through their hull and create an entry point. Do it, Jack ordered. Kate, Alex with me. Dr. Reed, prepare the medical bay in case we find injured aliens. 20 minutes later, Jack led a boarding team onto the alien vessel. The inside was as angular as the outside, with corridors lit by the same red glow that lined the hull. They moved carefully, weapons ready. They found the crew in what appeared to be the command center, 5 beings that looked almost human, but with gray skin and eyes that glowed the same red as their ship. 4 were dead, killed when their vessel's systems exploded during the battle. 1 still lived, badly injured. Dr. Reed, Jack called over the comm. We need you here. The alien was brought back to the Perseverance's medical bay. Dr. Reed worked to save its life, while Alex tried to establish communication. I've analyzed their language from their computer systems, Alex explained. It's complex, but our translation software is adapting. Hours later, the alien regained consciousness. It looked at the humans surrounding it with what seemed like contempt. Why did you attack the outpost? Jack asked. The translation software converted his words, and the alien responded in a harsh, clicking language that the software then translated for the humans. It was in our way, the alien replied. As your world will be. What do you want from us? Jack pressed. Want? Nothing. You exist. That is enough reason for the Dominion to end you. The Dominion? Alex asked. The alien's red eyes seemed to glow brighter. We are the Dominion. We move from galaxy to galaxy, cleansing them of lesser species. Your alliance is nothing to us. Your weapons are primitive. Your ships are weak. Not all of them, Jack said, thinking of how the Perseverance had disabled this alien ship. The alien made a sound that might have been laughter. 1 ship means nothing. Our main fleet approaches. Thousands of vessels. Millions of soldiers. Your species will be extinct within days. Jack looked at his crew, seeing the same determination in their eyes that he felt. Their ship, once the weakest in the fleet, might now be humanity's best hope. How long until the main invasion force arrives? He asked the alien. The alien's glowing eyes seemed to smile. They are already here. We need to warn the Alliance, Jack said after they secured the alien prisoner in the medical bay. Now, the Perseverance raced toward Alliance space, pushing its enhanced engines beyond what should have been possible. Behind them, their sensors tracked the massive Dominion fleet spreading through the sector. They're attacking the border stations, Kate reported. 3 outposts gone already. Still can't get through on normal channels, Alex added. The Dominion is jamming everything. Keep trying, Jack ordered. All frequencies, all codes. After 18 hours at maximum speed, they finally reached the edge of core Alliance territory. A patrol of 3 warships intercepted them immediately. Unidentified vessel, this is the Alliance warship Defender, came a stern voice over the comm. Power down your engines and prepare to be boarded. This is Captain Jack Miller of the HSS Perseverance, Jack responded. We have critical intelligence about an alien invasion force. Request immediate audience with command. There was a pause before the reply came. Perseverance. Your ship does not match registry specifications. Identify yourself properly or we will open fire. It's our modified hull, Sam whispered. They don't recognize us. Jack tried again. Alliance vessel Defender, I repeat, this is the Perseverance. We've made some upgrades, but we're still an Alliance ship, and we have information about a hostile alien force that has already destroyed multiple outposts. After another pause, the Defender responded. Prepare to be boarded. Any resistance will be met with deadly force. Jack looked at his crew. Stand down weapons. Let them board. Captain, Kate protested. They won't understand what we've done. They'll think. I know what they'll think, Jack interrupted. But the Dominion fleet is the bigger threat. We need the Alliance to know what's coming. The boarding went as badly as expected. Armed soldiers stormed the Perseverance, staring in shock at the blackened hull and modified systems. When they found the alien prisoner, they called for backup. Within an hour, Jack and his crew were in custody, separated from each other and their ship. The Perseverance was surrounded by Alliance vessels, weapons locked on its strange black hull. 2 days later, Jack was brought before Admiral Banks and 3 other high-ranking officers. The room was small and windowless, deep inside Alliance headquarters. Explain yourself, Miller, Banks demanded. What have you done to an Alliance vessel? Jack told them everything. The modifications, the alien power core, the encounter with the Dominion. He showed them the sensor data they had collected. You integrated unknown alien technology into an Alliance ship, one of the other admirals asked, horrified. Without testing, without approval. We had limited resources, Jack replied. We did what we could with what we had. What you did was treason, Banks snapped. Theft of Alliance property. Unauthorized modifications to military equipment. And now you expect us to believe this story about an invasion. The Dominion fleet is real, Jack insisted. Check the border stations. They've gone silent because they've been destroyed. One of the admirals checked her tablet. We have lost contact with several outposts, but that could be due to technical issues. It's not technical issues, Jack said, his voice rising. It's the beginning of an invasion by a force that destroys entire species, and right now, the Perseverance might be the only ship in the fleet that can stand against them. Banks laughed. Your rust bucket. Against an invasion fleet. Even with your illegal modifications, it's still just one small patrol ship. A patrol ship that defeated one of their vessels, Jack countered. Our modified hull absorbs their energy weapons. Our shields withstand their attacks. Our weapons can penetrate their defenses. The admirals exchanged glances. One of them, an older woman with short gray hair, leaned forward. Captain Miller, your ship will be studied by our top scientists. If there is useful technology there, we will find it. But you and your crew will face court-martial for your actions. Jack was returned to custody. Later that day, he was allowed to see his crew in a guarded meeting room. They're not listening, he told them. They're more concerned about our modifications than the Dominion threat. They've taken blood samples from all of us, Dr. Reed reported, and they've been questioning me about the medical nanites. They're stripping the Perseverance, Sam added bitterly, taking it apart piece by piece to study the technology. What about the alien? Jack asked. Moved to a secure facility, Alex said. They wouldn't tell me where. As they talked, the door opened and a familiar face entered. Morgan, the captain of the Lucky Star. You, Jack said in surprise. How did you get in here? Morgan smiled. I have access to places most people don't. She sat down at the table. Your alliance is in trouble, Captain Miller. They don't understand what they're facing. You know about the Dominion? Kate asked. Morgan nodded. I'm part of a group that monitors threats to galactic stability. We've tracked the Dominion for years as they move through neighboring galaxies. Now they're here, and your military is not prepared. Why tell us? Jack asked. We're prisoners. Powerless. Not entirely, Morgan replied, sliding a small device across the table. Your ship is special, Captain. The alien core you installed has bonded with it in ways even we don't fully understand. And it's bonded with you too. All of you. Sam picked up the device. What is this? A key, Morgan answered. It will unlock your cells and give you access to Hangar 7, where they're keeping the Perseverance. You want us to escape? Dr. Reed asked, alarm in his voice. That would make us actual traitors. A sudden alarm blared through the building. Red emergency lights began flashing. What's happening? Jack demanded. Morgan's face was grim. The Dominion's main fleet has arrived. They've broken through the outer defenses already. A voice came over the station speakers. All personnel to battle stations. This is not a drill. Repeat, all personnel to battle stations. Jack looked at his crew, then at Morgan. How bad is it going to be? Without your ship, Morgan replied. The Alliance will fall within days. Jack took the device from Sam. Then we need to move quickly. As alarms continued to sound, Jack turned to his crew. I won't order any of you to do this. If we take the Perseverance without authorization, there's no going back. We'll be fugitives. If we don't, Kate said, there might not be an alliance to return to. One by one, the crew nodded their agreement. Dr. Reed, Jack said to the medical officer, who still looked uncertain, what have you learned about the ship since we installed the core? Reed hesitated, then said, something strange has been happening. The nanites report that the ship's systems are becoming more integrated, more alive. It's developing patterns similar to a neural network. Are you saying the ship is becoming sentient? Alex asked. I don't know, Reed admitted, but it's changing in ways we don't understand. Jack looked at the device in his hand, then at his crew. Let's find out together. Morgan stood. I'll create a distraction. Get to your ship. The Alliance needs you, even if they don't know it yet. As Morgan left, Jack activated the device. The door lock clicked open. Time to go, he said. The Perseverance was waiting for them. Alarms blared throughout Alliance headquarters as Jack and his crew raced through the corridors. Security forces were distracted by the Dominion attack, making their escape easier than expected. Hangar 7 is this way, Alex said, leading them through a maintenance tunnel. They emerged into a vast hangar where the Perseverance sat surrounded by scanning equipment and research teams. The ship's blackened hull seemed to absorb the bright hangar lights, creating a shadow deeper than it should be. How do we get past all these scientists? Kate whispered. As if in answer, the hangar's emergency lights began flashing red. A voice came over the speakers. All non-essential personnel evacuate immediately. Dominion forces have breached orbital defenses. The research teams quickly filed out, leaving only a few guards who were easily avoided in the confusion. That was convenient, Sam commented as they approached their ship. Too convenient, Jack agreed, looking around suspiciously, but they had no time to question their good fortune. When they reached the Perseverance, they found the main hatch already open, waiting for them. Inside, the lights came on automatically as they entered, even though the power should have been shut down. It's like the ship knew we were coming, Dr. Reed said, his voice uneasy. They rushed to the bridge. To their surprise, all systems were active, displays showing the ongoing battle in orbit. The Dominion fleet had already destroyed 3 Alliance battleships. "They're tearing through our defenses like they're not even there," Kate said as she took her station. "Start the engines," Jack ordered, taking the captain's chair. "We need to get out there." Sam went to the engineering console. "Engines are already online, Captain. In fact, all systems are active. And, wait, that's odd." "What is it?" "According to these readings, the ship has been running diagnostics and making adjustments while we were gone. It's like it's been preparing." Jack had no time to consider the implications. "Get us out of here." The hangar doors were closed, but as they approached, the doors began opening on their own. "Did you do that?" Jack asked Alex. "No," she replied. "The hangar control systems just let us through." The Perseverance shot out of the hangar and up toward the battle raging in orbit. On the main screen, they could see Alliance ships fighting desperately against the superior Dominion vessels. But for every Dominion ship they destroyed, 2 more Alliance ships were lost. "This is hopeless," Dr. Reed said. "There are too many of them." Jack studied the tactical display. "We need to find their command ship, take out their leader." "How do we find it?" Kate asked. "It will be the largest ship," Jack guessed, "and probably hanging back from the main battle." Kate scanned the Dominion fleet. Found it. Massive vessel at coordinates 227 to 3489. It's 3 times the size of our largest battleship. "Set course," Jack ordered. "Maximum speed." As they flew toward the command ship, a group of Alliance vessels moved to intercept them. "We've got incoming communication," Alex announced. "It's Admiral Banks." Banks' angry face appeared on the screen. "Miller, return that vessel immediately or be fired upon." "Admiral," Jack replied urgently, "there's no time for this. The Dominion is overwhelming our fleet. The Perseverance may be the only ship that can stop them." "You're delusional," Banks shot back. "1 patrol ship can't make a difference, no matter what illegal modifications you've made." "Sir," Jack said, "please, let us try. What do you have to lose?" Before Banks could respond, the screen showed a Dominion ship firing on one of the Alliance vessels attempting to block the Perseverance. The Alliance ship exploded in a ball of flame. Banks' expression changed. "All ships, let them pass. Miller, you have 1 chance to prove your ship can do what you claim. After that, if you survive, you're still facing court-martial." "Understood, sir," Jack replied. "We won't let you down." The path cleared, and the Perseverance accelerated toward the Dominion command ship. As they approached, several Dominion vessels moved to protect their leader. "They've spotted us," Kate reported. 6 ships on intercept course. "Evasive maneuvers," Jack ordered. But instead of the standard evasion pattern, the Perseverance moved in ways Jack hadn't commanded, flowing between enemy ships with impossible grace, as if anticipating their attacks. "The ship is moving on its own," Sam said in wonder. "It's following the tactical situation and reacting faster than we could." Jack had no time to question this. "As long as it works. Weapons, target the lead interceptor." The Perseverance fired, its enhanced weapons striking with deadly precision. The Dominion ship's shields flared and failed, and a second shot destroyed it completely. The remaining ships opened fire, their red energy beams converging on the Perseverance. The blackened hull absorbed some attacks, while the shields deflected others. "Shields at 60%, Kate reported. "We can't take much more of this." "We need to reach that command ship," Jack insisted. Dr. Reed suddenly looked up from his console. "Captain, I've been analyzing the Dominion fleet's communication patterns. They all receive orders directly from the command ship. If we can disrupt that signal, they would lose coordination," Jack finished. "How do we do it?" Sam studied her readings. "The alien power core. If we could create a feedback pulse through their communication frequency, it would overload their systems," Alex added excitedly. "But we have to get very close to the command ship, and it might burn out our core," Sam warned. We might not survive the pulse. Jack looked at his crew, the misfits, the rule breakers, the ones the Alliance had tried to forget. Each face showed the same determination he felt. If we don't try, humanity won't survive, he said simply. Everyone, listen carefully. He outlined the plan. They would push through the remaining defenders, get as close as possible to the command ship, and unleash the feedback pulse. It was a suicide mission, but no one objected. When he finished speaking, Jack stood. This might be our last mission. I want to say it's been an honor serving with each of you. We took the weakest ship in the fleet and made it into something extraordinary. Whatever happens next, remember that. The crew stood with him. Together, they placed their hands on the central console. For humanity, Jack said, we make this oath. We will protect our people, whatever the cost. As they spoke these words, something strange happened. The ship's systems pulsed with energy. The blackened hull began to glow with subtle patterns, like symbols etching themselves into the darkness. What's happening? Alex whispered. The ship, Sam said in awe. It's responding to us. To our oath. The symbols glowed brighter, spreading across the hull in patterns that resembled ancient writing. The ship's power readings spiked beyond anything they had seen before. It's ready, Jack said, somehow knowing it was true. Let's finish this. The Perseverance surged forward, its enhanced systems operating beyond all known limits. It tore through the Dominion defenders, taking damage but refusing to stop. Command ship in range, Kate announced. Initiate the pulse, Jack ordered. Sam activated the sequence. The alien core glowed blindingly bright as energy built up for the pulse. 30 seconds to discharge, she reported. The core is becoming unstable. Jack opened a channel to the Alliance fleet. All ships, prepare to attack on my signal. The Dominion fleet will be vulnerable after our pulse. Admiral Banks' voice came through. We're ready, Miller. And good luck. 15 seconds, Sam counted down. The hull can't contain this much energy for long. 10 seconds. Jack looked at his crew one last time. It's been an honor. 5 seconds. The screens went white as energy flooded the ship. The last thing Jack heard was Sam shouting, the ship is creating some kind of protective field around us. Then everything exploded into light. When Jack opened his eyes, he was floating in darkness. No, not darkness. The blackened hull of the Perseverance, somehow wrapped around him like a cocoon. Through gaps in the material, he could see space and the distant lights of ships. One by one, his crew awakened beside him, all encased in the same strange protective material. We're alive, Kate said in disbelief. The ship, Sam whispered. It saved us. Outside their protective bubble, they could see the Alliance fleet engaging the Dominion vessels, which moved erratically, without coordination. The pulse had worked. The blackened material around them began to shift, forming a sphere that carried them through space. Through the gaps, they watched as the Dominion command ship exploded, torn apart by Alliance weapons. We did it, Alex said softly. The sphere continued moving, taking them away from the battle, away from Alliance space. The symbols that had appeared on the hull now glowed from within the material surrounding them. Where is it taking us? Dr. Reed asked. Jack touched the surface of their strange cocoon. It felt warm, alive. I don't know, he admitted. But I think the ship is still with us. Changed, but with us. As if in answer, the glowing symbols pulsed brighter, and the sphere accelerated, carrying the crew of the Perseverance into the unknown depths of space. Behind them, the Alliance celebrated victory over the Dominion, unaware that the heroes responsible were still alive, transformed by their encounter with ancient technology and bound together by their oath, the blackened farewell oath that had saved humanity and changed them forever. And in distant parts of space, stories began to spread of a strange blackened vessel that appeared when ships were in danger, helping them before vanishing again into the darkness between stars.